Allie. Join me as I show you how to work with some daggers and make sure they sit right in this beautiful Lakeside bracelet. If you need any supplies to make those fireflies with the daggers or the round duos, go ahead and look below the video. In the product description, we'll put links there to get back to our site. Gather up all your supplies and please watch to make this absolutely gorgeous, lovely Lakeside bracelet. So I absolutely love the color palette for this. It gives that nice kind of calm spring summer vibe. The first thing I'm going to do is put on a stop bead. I'm working with size 8 white dragon thread. You'll want to work with a 6 or an 8 because you want it to have a little bit more of a stiff feel to it. That way you make sure that your daggers sit correctly, which I'm going to show you how to do that. So to begin, we are putting a stop bead on the bottom of about 4 feet of thread. And I'm going to begin with one of my RounDuo beads. The RounDuo beads are going to sit in between my SuperDuo bead here. And after my SuperDuo bead is going to sit 3 of my daggers. Now you can do this with a variety of sizes of daggers because most daggers have a small opening at the bottom there. I'm using 3 of the daggers and it's the 3x11 size. After that, one 11-0 follows along with another one of my SuperDuos along with another 11-0 RounDuo, and that starts it again. You're going to do this for the whole length of your entire bracelet. Now, one thing you want to think about is it is going to shrink just the tiniest bit as you're working on it, just because our daggers are going to go out to the side a little bit. So I would make it more, a little tiny bit bigger than normal, but honestly not that much. After the SuperDuo, or after the RounDuo goes a SuperDuo with 11-0s on each side. Then we follow with 3 of our dagger beads, then an 11-0, SuperDuo to follow. After the SuperDuo, we follow with a RounDuo. Again, start the process all over as we are working on it. You're just going to get that nice kind of fan look the whole way along your bracelet. As you get to the end of the bracelet, you're going to want to switch directions so we can build the petals of the dragonfly basically on the opposite side. Coming out the last RounDuo, I have one of my 11-0s on along with 2 of my 15-0s in that pretty pastel color. I'm going through a infinite clasp here, and it's a 10mm infinite clasp. Because of this bracelet not really having a top or a bottom, doesn't really matter. I don't need to worry about the first side of the clasp. On the opposite side, I'm going to do the opposite, going and adding 2 15s along with one of my 11-0. And we'll be coming down one more time, so we'll get a chance to reinforce. But then I'm going right down through the RounDuo bead on the opposite side. Coming down on the opposite side of the RounDuo bead, it's very, very simple. You are going to add one more 11-0 seed bead after the RounDuo. Sew through the second hole of the SuperDuo that's already there. From here, you're going to add an 11-0 along with 1, 2, and 3 of your daggers. One more 11-0 through the next SuperDuo second open hole. That creates your little daggers there. From here, repeat 11-0 through the RounDuo, 11-0, SuperDuo, and you're just creating a series of those over and over and over again, adding in more petals and more of your 11-0 seed beads. When you get down to the other side of the bracelet and you're ready to put on the clasp, what you want to do is keep the clasp attached. So you make sure that your bracelet is laying flat. Look at those RounDuos, make sure they're laying flat. And then you're bringing it around so that it's not twisted anywhere in the middle. Same thing here, you're going to add in your 1 11-0 seed bead, which of course I need to pour more of them out. Along with your 2 15s. Going in the design then, making sure that it's not turned anywhere. You're going into the correct side of your clasp. Going into that clasp then, coming out the opposite side, adding the 15s and the 11. And here's where my starter thread is. So what I'm going to actually do is reinforce my thread here. I took off my starter bead. I'm going back through the RounDuo. Nice tight pull. I'm going to go back through my RounDuo bead up through the 15s, up through the 11, through the clasp, reinforcing it right there. Down through the opposite side of the clasp. Nice tight pull on the original strand as well. Just making sure again that it's not going through and twisting anywhere. I'm going to grab that thread end and tie it off with the thread that I'm working on. All right. Now we'll go back and we'll burn that down and everything. But right now we are going to decorate the outside of our piece. It's going to be 115, 111, or sorry, 115 in gold, 115 in the purpley color, 115 in purple and gold after our 2x3mm rondelles. And then over through the 11-0 on the opposite side of the RounDuo bead. From here, here's where we get this chaos to have some order. You're going to go through your SuperDuo, through the first 11-0 seed bead, through the 3 dagger beads, and out. Once you're through those 3 dagger beads, this is how we get it to lay nicely. Grab one more SuperDuo, so over to the other side and through the 3 dagger beads that sit on the opposite side of this dragonfly. Coming out the daggers, go into the second hole of that SuperDuo that we just added, making that SuperDuo sit right in between there in the middle, spreading our wings out and going back through the daggers that your thread originally came out of. So it's like a big figure 8. And those daggers then just sit right into the side. From here, where you're going to go through the 11-0 seed bead, through the SuperDuo, through the next 11-0 seed bead. On the exterior here, we're doing gold, pink, crystal, if it doesn't want to pop away from me, pink, gold, into the next one. Again, through the SuperDuo, through the 11-0s, all the way through the next grouping of your dagger beads and out. Out the daggers then, here's that repeat. Going and adding a SuperDuo, sewing down the opposite side of daggers, going through that second hole of the SuperDuo, kind of pulling it in the middle. You can see I do a nice tight pull right there on the thread. Back up through the daggers on the side here. Nice tight pull there. Then again, through my 11, SuperDuo 11. We're just going to continue this the whole way. And then we do the opposite on the, we do the same thing on the opposite side of the piece. And that reinforces our daggers once again as well, because we come back through them. As you finish down the first side, when you get to the end here, I want you to go through the clasp and reinforce, going through the seed beads and everything leading up to it. All I have to do is glue in my little cabochon there. And I'm going to come down now the opposite side. Now this puts 2 threads through the piece itself. If you want to, like I'm going to do, I'm going to go through the RounDuo. I'm going to go up through the RounDuo on the opposite side. Reinforce the clasp once more. Going through the 11s, the 15s, leading up to the clasp. Go through the clasp. Go through the 15s. And as you're down, then on the side of the RounDuo beads, we're going to flip and we are going to come back the opposite way. Now, when we come back the opposite way, you can see how the dagger beads are already laying really, really nicely and they're not even on my wrist. We are going to reinforce those and just make them lay down even nicer. Adding in your 15 crystal combo on the sides of your RounDuo beads. Coming back out through here. Right along the edge, there's a couple different ways that you can do. If you want them to sit through to the back, which is completely up to you. It'll sit on your wrist then. You can add a little crystal on the top here with a 15 crystal, 15 combo. Drop that down on the top here, and that'll sit on the top of the wings. I'm keeping mine really empty, so all I'm going to do is pretend that my SuperDuo isn't there. What I mean by that is I'm going to pretend I still need to put my SuperDuo on. So I'm going to go reinforce through my daggers, out through the daggers. You can also just run your line of thread right down the side, through the SuperDuo, along the SuperDuo in here. If you want to, you can put your 15 combo just to show you right here, right along the edge, 15 with your pink in the middle, right along the edge here. Again, just that extra added little piece. Now I'm going through my daggers. Again, I was kind of pretending the SuperDuo wasn't there. Once I'm through my daggers, on the left-hand side, I go back over to the right, through the SuperDuo, back through the daggers one more time. And as I kind of wiggle and pop out of the daggers, I repeat this process one more time, going down through the 11, through the SuperDuo, through the 11-0. Here on the side, do my, oops, throw my beads. Don't throw your beads. Do your 2 15s along with your crystal, followed by your 2 15s, and through the 11s on the opposite side of your SuperDuo, or your RounDuo rather. So pretty as you look at it. Such a pretty little design. From here, time to reinforce, adding those seed beads just sitting right on top. So I'm going through the 11 here on the side, through the daggers. As you come out the dagger, you're going to go through the SuperDuo there. Here's where we add our crystal or our seed beads along the side. Mine here, I just noticed my thread. Just be careful of that it doesn't get wrapped around one of your daggers. It will want to, promise you. You can also, if you want, add a little cream color there in the middle of the dagger. Use the 15s, go through the SuperDuo, use the 15s, go through the SuperDuo, go through the daggers on the left, daggers over to the right, and continue on. And just look at how pretty this bracelet becomes as you're building it. And when you wear it too, I'll open it up and show you. It really sits so nicely for daggers on the side of your wrist. At the end of the design here, you're going to put your seed beads in like you've been doing, going up through the clasp here. This is our second opportunity for a thread to go through the clasp section. Just like we did on the other side, we're going to go down through that RounDuo bead them. And I really love this design, guys. It feels so nice when you are holding it. It's nice and kind of thick feeling while being lightweight. All right, going up through then that RounDuo bead, back through the clasp section, going in and reinforcing. Again, I always like to do 3 strands for bracelets. Earrings, usually I do 2 of thread through the connector. Right here then, right where the original thread end is, I'm going to go in and tie a knot. I still have my thread and needle on the project. Tuck this kind of to the back here. I still have my thread and needle on the project because I'm going to take that and separate that out on the design. I'm just going to take advantage here of that nice cream colored bead being right next to a knot. There's 1, there's 2, And now I'm going to take my thread end. I'm going to go down through the seed beads along the side, going in and separating out the threads. Once I get down near the cream again, I'm going to do one little sewer's knot, going underneath the bridge thread, looping through that loop that I just created, sewing underneath the thread, connecting the two beads once and twice. Pulling that knot nice and tight next to that cream bead, sewing through the cream bead, through that SuperDuo. You can see them to the back of the design. Pull that needle down. And now I'm going to burn off those two thread ends and complete my bracelet. It really is a gorgeous one that the daggers sit perfectly on, and I hope you enjoy creating it, whether or not you're doing some brighter golds or silvers, and I can't wait to see it if somebody does it in kind of dragonfly iridescent jet AB colors. Thanks so much for joining me in creating this beautiful Lakeside bracelet. Remember, if you make one, post them in our Facebook group for beading and jewelry making. Like I said, can't wait to see a Jet AB one going a completely different color route. If you do need supplies, go ahead and look below the video in the description. Hit that little show more button and we'll list a link back to our website as well as all of the materials that are used in this particular bracelet. Remember also, if you haven't yet, hit that little subscribe button so you don't miss anything from us here at Potomac Beads. Thanks so much for joining and stay tuned for more inspirational designs.